River strength inside the storm. Thunder where you find out if your spine is still strong. Storms make me, storms don't break me. I don't hide from the lightning, I don't flinch at the road. Every strike calls a lesson, every word.
Good afternoon.
I don't pray for the easy, I don't.
Good evening.
From the fight, I pray for storm.
How's it going?
So I come out battle tested by.
Hello, Miss Denise. Yeah. Denise Boyd Martinez. Hello. Thank you. New member in the house, y'all. Hello and welcome. Do I have a 5x5? What's going on, y'all? We got a new member in the house.
Every strike calls a lesson, every way is short. I don't pray for the easy, I don't run from the fight, I pray for storm. So I come out battle tested by if the heavens split wide, let the floodgates fall. I'll wade through the wreckage, I'll answer the call. Some men fear dying, some men fear pain, but I fear life without storms in my veins. So lay me in the tempest when my day is done. Let the thunder roll proud.
Good evening.
Let the cold rain.
Welcome in, everybody.
On my stone write these words that carry me through.
Appreciate y'all coming in.
I prayed for storms and the storms made me true. I don't hide from the lightning, I don't flinch at the road. Every strike calls a lesson, every way builds a shore. I don't pray for the easy, I don't run from the fight, I pray for storms. And they crown me with fire night.
I'm just a redneck, y'all.
Some men pray for rain, but I pray for the storm.
Good evening. I appreciate it. Miss Denise Boyd Martinez. Thank you for that awesome membership. Are you still here? I think she just came in and hit that membership for me, but yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. A new member, y'all. Thank you very much. Hey, it helps support the channel every which way but loose. Hello, John Boyd. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Nez Lover. How's everybody doing? Mike Smith. Tina Gasson. Hello, Curious Georgia. Good to see y'all. Redeemed by Yah. Kind of like that song. Come by here, my Lord. Redeemed by Yah. Barb in Ohio. Hello. Welcome in. I still want to keep touching. Hello, Mike B. Cooking with Mike. Yeah, thank you. I can't hardly read y'all's names the way it is now. Hello, Thigman. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Good evening, Carol. Yes. Everybody. Have I covered everybody? Miss Blanche, hello and good evening. Good evening, y'all. Good evening. I believe I have now. We have 20 in the chat. Show the comments on the stage, which I've done a little bit more digging. I still want to like this is incoming, y'all. At least they want to try to slip it in, you know. Yeah, they're going to try to slip all this in. And there's good information out there coming out now. Still, these 17 countries, and yeah, let's start with a little video here or there. Appreciate y'all and your patience. Yeah, I have to dig, y'all. And your patience, for real. Hello, Kenley. Greetings. And it just took me to the wrong screen. Something I wasn't even going to talk about tonight. 3i Atlas. I believe everything reset when I let my computer here go to sleep a few minutes. Yeah. Kenley, greetings. Thank y'all. Eva Ports, hello. Let's check your channel here, Eva Ports. Yeah, thank y'all. I'm like, man, if it ain't one thing, it's something else. Eva Ports, good evening. Let me go ahead and subscribe to you. A little business here in the background, y'all. Thank you very much. You're going on 10,000 subscribers. You sure are. And I know it's hard work. It is. It's hard work. I just got to 12,000. And I am so grateful that I even have one subscriber left to steal. Hello, Shika. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good to see y'all. Thank y'all. I got to start somewhere, y'all. I got to start somewhere. This digital ID. I mean, really. We're going to hear from people in videos. We're going to read a little bit of this and that. Yeah. Watch Woman of the Dragon. Somehow I keep remembering that movie, Don't Look Up. Well, don't look up. Please do not. Unless you're looking at the sky a little bit, y'all. Better not look down, really. I don't know what to tell you right now, for real, y'all. Am I sharing the screen yet? For real. I was like, man, my concentration was broke earlier, y'all. I've had this stuff lined up for 2 hours, you know. So, yeah, the digital ID. Unite against the digital ID. People's out there, y'all. They even protesting. This movement is bigger than politics, race, religion, or your opinion. It's about all of us. Different voices, different views, one shared goal to protect our freedom and say no to digital ID. They want us divided. They want us distracted. They want us arguing. But unite together against the digital ID.
If you say yes to digital ID, you'll probably never be able to say no to the government ever again.
Don't ignore the warning on digital ID. It's their gateway to Agenda 30.
I do not consent to dystopian, totalitarian digital identity. United non-compliance ends this agenda.
I wasn't put on this planet to fight, but fight we must. This is the time to stand up. This is the hill that we must all die on. No digital ID, not on my watch.
I'm against digital ID because I don't like the social credit system. I can see how the Chinese people are living under it, and I can see that we're sleepwalking in the same direction, so we have to stand against it before it's too late.
We reject digital ID because surrendering our data means surrendering the freedoms our forefathers died to preserve.
Say no to digital IDs. Not now, not ever.
I'm against the digital ID because I don't want to live in a digital dictatorship.
Agenda 2030 is bigger than any of us. It's time for all of us to unite now, for freedom's sake.
Stand as one against digital ID. They fear the people, but they fear us most when we stand together.
At Rebels on Roundabouts, we're telling people why digital ID and all biometrics are so dangerous.
I'm against digital ID because when combined with the climate crisis, it could lead to a level of control that makes our current day reality look like a walk in the park.
No digital ID.
Not all cages have bars. Saying no to digital ID is saying no to a digital prison.
Justice community, stand in unity with our brothers and sisters declining digital ID.
Peace Officers UK will do everything in its power to resist the digital agenda.
It all starts with digital ID. Just say no. Don't sign up to digital ID, no matter how much pressure comes down. If we just simply say no, it all falls apart.
The time for collective change is now. Let's show these nefarious, corrupt governments who holds the power. What do the people say to digital ID?
No, thanks.
It's not about safety. It's not about making sure illegal immigrants cannot work in the UK. It is purely to control you. If this is the only fight you ever take part in, please stand with us.
What's happening, people? This is Dave from the Artful Dodger, and we are saying no to digital ID. That can't happen. That can't run. All say no to the digital ID.
I'm Eloise from Garage Nation, and we say no to digital ID, don't we? Okay?
We are the people, we are the power, we are the 99%.
Unity is our greatest weapon. Unity is our greatest weapon. Please know you're going to have to go far to say no to digital ID. Yes, Miss Blanche, I am so excited too. Thank you very much. I hit 12,000 subscribers here on YouTube, y'all. And it took all of us. As a community, people share me out. Even though I put out some shorts and all these things, it takes work, y'all, you know. The next goal, 12,100. Got to keep working at it, y'all. But yes, the Good Life Off Grid, hello, welcome, unite. Do not comply. This is something we all can stand together on. Black, white, red. It don't matter what color, what creed you are. Because once you are in that system, it owns you. And I'm going to prove it here if my ducks are in a row. Yes. Thank y'all. You should get them done sometime. They do a great job. Congratulations. Thank you, Sheikah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. There's nothing wrong with uniting together for one main cause, for humanity. This is it, y'all. They'll own us if we sign up for the digital ID. Let me show a couple more things here as I go along. Like I say, I have to prove it. Well, I keep saying something and not prove it, you know? You know, Klaus Schwab says we'll own nothing and be happy. Well, this is what they're showing us from China. This is why China's having more and more homeless people. You know how China is. They could be sending videos over here, but still it looks like it could be true, and it probably is. Yeah, they send these videos over here like they did propaganda, y'all, back in 2020. You remember all that? Yeah. And in the meantime, China as a country, and I have a doctor and stuff on a video on my other channel, you know, saying the depopulation in China has been occurring. Even salt from Japan is not but like half of what it used to be. You know, I've shown proof like that in the past, y'all, here on my channel not too long ago.
They didn't go broke, they got deleted.
In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy, but if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
Yeah, how long before you get deleted? You remember Klaus Schwab? You own nothing and be happy. We was foretold this, like several years ago. Well, this digital ID is going to tie everything together. If you're rejected, sooner or later, you won't be going to the grocery store. You won't pay your light bill. All of this will be, you won't pay a mortgage or anything. According to the way it looks like when you put common sense together, Do they not want us to figure this out, But it don't take much to figure this out. And people are rejecting the digital ID in some countries now. My family said our farm and duck camp last year. So glad we sold it. MHG Fishing, how you doing? Let me turn you blue, man. Hey, I've been watching you fish out there at the Mississippi River, man. Is that you or is this a new channel? Y'all throw me off every time. I believe this is a new channel. I'm going to turn you blue anyway. Thank you for coming in. Let's keep going along, y'all. Thank you. I hope you're watching. How's the video and the sound? Are we lagging any? Or we got 5x5 perfection or what, y'all? John P., how you doing, man? Obviously, your country is not on the list yet. Well, thank God, y'all. We got 5x5. Thank you. Redeemed by Yah. Thank you. Come by here, my Lord. Redeemed by Yah. I like that name, y'all. Let's keep moving along because I don't want to take your whole evening. I just ate dinner. Yes, I did. I had spaghetti tonight. It was pretty good, y'all. Actually, it was delicious. So, my eyes are getting blurry a little bit again. I don't know what gave me this screen. Somehow my screens get reset and all my stuff that I had. But it's okay because I'm going to keep moving along to the next one. And it just reduced my time a little bit. But it's all good. I'll cover it sooner or later if I missed it. Yeah. I sure will. Appreciate it, y'all. I really do. What a wonderful crowd tonight. And I'm not crazy about this guy here, this Russell guy. What's his name? Russell. British Andrew Brigham. They can only implement all the aspects of Agenda 2030 if they have digital ID. Going through this digital ID will be even your climate warn, you know, anything. They're going to do this. I heard one other big channel, and I agree. I agree that it's going to be even tied to the climate and how much you can drive and all that kind of stuff, y'all. If you sign up for digital ID, you'll never be able to say no to the government again, because the government will own you one way or the other. You won't ever get back in the system once you are kicked out. I just don't believe it. What will it take, you know? And it's already against the law to be homeless in America, you know? And if you're kicked out and you're against the law being homeless, either you're going to be locked up forever or they're going to take us out, you know? Say no to digital ID, y'all. Digital ID will be a massive tool of control. It'll always be sold to you as it's for your own convenience and for your own security. And there's an old saying that if you're ever willing to trade your freedom for security, you'll end up with neither freedom nor security. I like to play these short videos. Did anybody else come in the house? If you did, sorry, I've been stumbling a little bit. They're about to cause a Mad Max situation. That's the storm that I think I've been talking about, y'all. Russell is controlled, but he tells some truth. Yeah.
Do you think that digital ID and increasing bureaucratic control is going to be something that's going to rouse people's passions? Do you think that's something they care about? Do you think that that's something that the British people, for example, will take a stand against? Because it seems like Keir Starmer's going to try and reintroduce ID cards or sort of, biometric data. Firstly, why is it a problem? And do you think people care about it, Andrew?
Well, they should do. Again, it's another thing that no one ever mentions in Parliament. All the parties are aligned with it. Agenda 2030, and that's why we're getting the uncontrolled migration. And they can only implement all the aspects of Agenda 2030 and its controls if they have digital ID. So if we can stop digital ID, it's very, very difficult to see how we can end up with a dystopian future, which I believe is in line for us.
I thought that Agenda 2030 was a conspiracy theory. Are you saying Agenda 2030 is a real thing?
It's a real thing, and if you look on the government's website, it says we remain aligned to Agenda 2030. But we never debated it in Parliament. No one ever talks about it. It's just there in the background, and all the policies are taking us that way. So if you sign up for digital ID, if you say yes to digital ID, I fear you'll never be able to say no to the government again. Digital ID will be a massive tool of control. It'll always be sold to you as it's for your own convenience and for your own security. And there's an old saying that if you're ever willing to trade your freedom for security, you'll end up with neither freedom nor security. And the only person it's going to be convenient for will be the government. And we will be like prisoners out on license, where we're tagged, and they'll know exactly where we are and what we're doing all the time. And if we give into this, Russell, future generations, it's not just about us, it's about future generations that will be condemned to that. They will never know the freedoms that they didn't have, and that can't be allowed to happen.
Yeah, our children, our grandchildren would be locked into this forever. Hello, Kenley. Good to see you riding the storm out. Thank you for coming in here. Long time no see. I used to see you over there at Mike Morales, I believe. I really did. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. You'll be locked into this prison forever, y'all. People are crying out the digital ID. They're making videos. They're protesting already. Let me make sure. I may have already taken that down. I'm like, man, all my stuff after my computer went to sleep, all my stuff's not showing back up in the same order. And I apologize for that. I made it hard on myself in that way. But I have a couple more videos and a little bit of reading and everything. Yeah. My computer went to sleep, y'all. So yeah, it's kind of like I messed it up. I was messing around. Please listen to the information. I'm not just this time throwing it out there. What these people are saying, you know, Palantir, these data centers, all this is being tied in together for this new digital ID. And who else? And who knows what else, you know? I want to throw this in case anyone thought when the president took his trip the other day, was that yesterday? He took a trip to Israel. He comes back the same day. This girl here saying Israel and Hamas did not sign the peace treaty.
So this is interesting. Yesterday, Israel and Hamas both did not sign the Declaration for Enduring Peace and Prosperity. Yesterday in Egypt at the Gaza Peace Summit, President Trump represented the United States and signed this declaration for peace in the Middle East. So did the president of Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey. But Israel and Hamas did not. Did both, however, give a verbal to the terms of the ceasefire, but they did not put it formally in writing, which means that it's not legally binding and that the deal is not a formal treaty recognized under international law. So having all of these countries that mediated the ceasefire signing this declaration basically puts pressure on Israel and Hamas to abide by the ceasefire terms. And it's also a symbolic gesture that these countries and these powers are all standing together in solidarity. But without Israel and Hamas signing this, it's more of a trust me bro situation. How do you feel about this? As always, let me know down below.
How do I feel? I feel like maybe they're trying to tell us something that didn't happen. You know, and as I said in my live stream yesterday, as Trump was pulling out in his big old airplane, Israel was shooting. So yes, according to this girl, that she's proving that they did not sign this peace treaty. Just showing y'all, in case you were deceived or believed the propaganda, whatever they put on the news. Let's keep everybody in the know. Please hit that thumbs up, y'all. Bunch of liars. Exactly. Be aware. Be prepared, you know. There is some new information somewhat into all this. Yeah. As we keep going, and it won't be much longer, maybe 20 minutes. BlackRock says that the only beginning as the tokenization of everything is underway. See, money is going to be made different, y'all. Tokenized money, property, even personal identity will soon exist in digital form. Personal identity will exist in digital form. An opportunity for BlackRock, saying the plan is to move beyond traditional financial assets by digitally repiting them into a new system. Your assets. And I'm not talking about your bottom or anything. I'm talking about your house, your car. Like this new money, this new digital money that a lot of people's not even going to understand up front anyway.
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equities, to bonds, across the board. There's $4.1 trillion of money sitting globally in digital wallets. A lot of that money is outside the United States. If we could tokenize an ETF, you know, digitize that ETF, we could have investors who are just beginning to, you know, invest in markets through, let's say, crypto, they're investing in it, but now we can get them into the more traditional long-term retirement products. So we look at that as the next wave of opportunity for BlackRock over the next tens of years, as we start focusing, moving away from traditional financial assets by repotting them in a digital manner, and then having people stay in that digital ecosystem. I do believe we're just at the beginning of the.
I don't claim to know this tokenization and whatever, however the amounts and all this is going to equal out to be. I don't claim to know. I'm not a financial expert. As I said, it's going to be confusing. If people sign up for this digital ID, it's going to include new money. It's going to include your freedom. It's so many things. I need to outline this and put it on one page and explain like this affects that. You can't get in the grocery store for this. Or whatever it is, because the system is going to be compiled of a conglomeration of many, many points and many areas. You're going to have to be working in a positive way all the time to make the system not shut you out. You know what I'm saying? There won't be, if you sign up, you're not going to be able to be a lazy person when you want to be a lazy person in your life. Just saying, I'm not calling nobody lazy, but we all have a point. We want to sit down. We want to take a break, whatever. The system's going to demand more out of you than you realize is what I'm saying, y'all. It's common sense. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to do everything that the system says you have to do, is the way I see it. I'm just now like catching up with this stuff too, y'all. I mean, nobody really knows except for this is part of the new world order if it's coming our way here in America. It is definitely, we knew the new world order was coming, but we didn't know every aspect. We knew in a way, like digital money and everything, but not all these promises and things that you're going to have to stick to. Are you going to end up like these people in China or anywhere else that's been kicked out of the system, Trying to explain myself, y'all. I get tied up. I misspeak a little bit. I get it. I mess up too. In case I mess up, you can correct me. And Bill Gates is into everything, y'all. He's got his hands in this. The UN and the Bill Gates Foundation are fast-tracking plans for a global digital system spanning 50 nations by 2028. An initiative critics warn could literally redefine what it means to be free. Launched in late 2023, the 50 in 5 campaign has already signed on 30 countries. 30 countries. So far, I've counted 17, but I believe 30. I believe 50. I believe 192 when they're done with it. Building what they call digital public infrastructure, a system linking digital IDs, instant payments, massive data sharing pipelines between governments and corporations. Massive pipelines. Leaders from countries like Nigeria and Togo even admit the groundwork began during COVID. See, while everybody's distracted with COVID, they're putting in these 5G towers. They're doing everything to build their new system up, what they call digital public infrastructure. A system linking digital IDs, instant payments, massive data sharing pipelines between governments and corporations. Leaders from countries like Nigeria and Togo even admit the groundwork began during COVID, when vast vaccine passports paved the way for global identity tracking. Behind the polished language of inclusion. And that word there, I don't even know if I could say. It lies a far more sinister goal. Sinister goal, y'all. Don't sign up for the digital ID, please. I can't tell you what to do, but I don't want you in a prison like that. From citizens to property, even every leaf on every tree, as the WEF bragged, all of it's being mapped onto a global ledger of compliance. While the U.S. hasn't officially joined, it is supporting the effort. And as big tech races to build the data centers that will run this system. Community resistance may be the last line between human freedom and a future where your access to life itself depends on a digital ID. Now, this is up to you all. If you want to stay and listen to this, this is my last video. I play these videos because I feel like a lot of these people in these videos know a lot more than I know. We do not consent. We do not consent. It'd be like Space Force is not in space. No, it isn't. To access the internet, to go to the doctor, above dearest. Hello, glad I caught the live. Peace, abundance, and gratitude, Super Day. Well, thank you. You won't be able to go to the urgent care unless you're on the digital ID. And proving probably, most likely, because I've heard it in other videos, experts talking and analysts and talking heads saying you're going to have the shot. There's videos all over that people cannot access grocery stores or whatever service they need. They're cutting the internet off at 10 o'clock at night. Like in the UK, if you're not asleep, they'll know if you're not asleep by a certain hour. If you're not asleep, people saying it's a prison. I'm just speaking my mind, y'all. For the government to say you got to be in bed asleep by 10 o'clock, or you'll be fined, or you'll be whatever, you lose social credit scores, points, or whatever. It's maddening. Like John Boy said, like a Mad Max situation coming, y'all. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but if it's anything like what they're saying and all the things that we're finding out, it's going to be hell on earth.
So we just covered in the previous segment about data centers and residents of communities defeating big tech giants trying to drain their resources for these data centers within their communities. But we want to tell you a little bit more about why there's such a huge push for this and what is really at the heart of this agenda. Now, the 50 in 5 Bill Gates initiative and UN initiative isn't the complete picture of the agenda, but it certainly is a very large part. It's been a few years since I've reported on 50 in 5. LifeSite News does a really great job at this refresher. The headline is UN Gates Foundation push for digital ID across 50 nations by 2028. With 30 nations enrolled, the UN and Gates Foundation's digital ID campaign signals accelerating efforts to create a global digital infrastructure that centralizes identity and data. It says the 50 in 5 campaign to accelerate digital ID, fast payment systems, and data exchanges in 50 countries by 2028 reaches a 30-country milestone. Launched in November of 2023, the 50 in 5 campaign is a joint effort of the United Nations, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and their partners to roll out at least one component of digital public infrastructure, or DPI, in 50 nations within 5 years. DPI is a civic technology stack consisting of 3 major components: digital ID, fast payment systems, and massive data sharing between public and private entities. Now, it's been a couple of years since I covered this, but I will tell you from my research that DPI is about a little bit more than just the infrastructure and digital ID and fast payment systems. It is digital public infrastructure. And from my research, what it is public-private partnerships tokenizing every single thing in existence, including human beings. Every single leaf on the planet will be tokenized. WEF has already done that, by the way. They bragged about this a couple of years ago, how they have officially mapped out every single leaf on every tree across the world using AI. And what this is building a digital ledger that can be tokenized of every single thing on Earth. Now, what they're going to do is link all of this together along with digital ID, meaning that every person, every object, every single thing is tokenized and on a digital ledger. And of course, your access to items on this digital ledger will be determined by your compliance, which is tracked through a digital ID. Now, it's obviously far more complex than the brief overview I've given you there, but keeping that in mind, just remember that as we read through the rest of this article. It says that 50 in 5 started with 11 first mover countries, and with the count now at 30, the participating countries include Bangladesh, Brazil, Cambodia, Dominican Republic, Estonia, Ethiopia, France, Guatemala, Jamaica, Kazakhstan, Lesotho, Malawi, Mexico, Moldova, Nigeria, Norway, Senegal, Sierra Leone, Singapore, Sri Lanka, South Africa, South Sudan, Somalia, Togo, Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda, Ukraine, Uruguay, Uzbekistan, and Zambia. The 50 in 5 campaign celebrated its 30-country milestone during a sideline event at the UN General Assembly in New York on September 22nd. There, government officials like Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister praised the work of 50 in 5, while the ministers of digital economy from Nigeria and Togo called for an interoperable digital identity system for the entire African continent. Nigeria's Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Busin Tijani, said that each country could build their own digital identity scheme, but that they should all be interoperable with one another, demonstrating both the digital ID and data sharing as good potential use cases for DPI. Listen to Nigeria's Minister of Communications acknowledging the issue with sovereignty between having a digital ID system that operates worldwide, but he says, we still need a level of interoperability so that everyone can communicate. Well, what is that other than a worldwide system of control? Interoperability is just a more palatable term, but I'll let you hear what he has to say.
Came to me, they were talking about a common ID system, and I think I quickly cautioned against that because there's still the sovereignty side. Nations want to maintain their own ID databases. But I think we have a unique opportunity to apply strong data exchange system interoperability, whereby there's a system that can help confirm that that person is truly registered on the other side. And perhaps we can make it seamless. As you know, the CFTA is the single largest common trading bloc in the world. 1.4 billion people within that area. I personally believe it's the biggest gift that the leaders have given Africa, but we're now in the process of actualizing it, making it happen. And I think a digital identity system that can go with you wherever you're going on the African continent will be a fantastic example. So if there's anyone in the room who's close to those at the AFCFTA headquarters, please let's all gather together and support, because I think this can be a truly strong example of a cross-border DPI. DPG perhaps for the African continent. Thank you.
Hear that, everyone? Yeah, it is a threat to sovereignty, but it would just be such a great gift as well if we just call it something other than what this is, which is a worldwide control system. In March of 2025, the Nigerian government published a framework to develop national digital public infrastructure that would leverage digital ID to track and trace, quote, key life events of every citizen from cradle to the grave. Throughout a citizen's life, from birth to old age, there are marked moments of significant life events requiring support or service from the government, the paper begins. Some of these services include registration of births, antenatal healthcare, vaccines, school enrollment, scholarships, health insurance for business registrations, filing of taxes, etc. These life events require every citizen to have a digital ID. Federal government of Nigeria is on a mission to appropriately deploy digital technology to support Nigerians through these significant and profound moments so they can integrate into the state and enjoy the benefits of citizenhood from cradle to old age. Back at the 50 in 5 milestone event, Togo's Minister of Digital Economy and Transformation, Sina Lawson, called for a free, cross-border, interoperable digital ID powered by the Modular Open Source Identity Platform, or MOSIP. MOSIP is a Gates-funded platform that, quote, helps...
I'll interrupt this for a minute. Just for a minute. I don't normally play lengthy videos like that, but it is pretty informative. Yeah, let me stop sharing the screen. As you know, StreamYard, you have to do one. Let me show you this little video. I remember seeing it, so I dug it up in the background. I hope I wasn't causing, any kind of skipping or anything. But there are people out there trying to stand up. People of all colors, ethnicities, religions come together to protest against the UK government's tyrannical mandatory digital ID. This is what the ruling class fear most as they try to continually divide all of us.
We must say no to the dystopia.
We say no. As I just put in there, it's up to you to say no. I can't say no for you. And I'm going to finish playing this because I want to end my live stream. I'm at 47 minutes. Y'all get the idea. I could have came on here and talked about 3i Atlas tonight. I chose not to. I want to stay on this digital ID. Bill Gates, the World Economic Forum, the United Nations. Is Trump going to allow this to fully take over in our country? Because if he does, this is the storm that's coming. And when you start moving people's money, tokenized, whatever you want to call it, CBDCs, whatever, crypto and all this stuff, if people's 401ks, so much money out there that could be tampered with. And a lot of people do think the 401ks will be going away one day. And the government will just use your money for whatever they want to use it for. I don't know. I'm not in that line of work. But I do believe this digital ID system is bad news for all of humanity.
Helps governments and other organizations, or other user organizations rather, implement a digital foundational identity system. Said Lawson, we've initiated conversations with our neighbors, namely Benin, to have interoperability of our ID systems, but also Burkina Faso and other countries such as Senegal, because we're using MOSIP platform. So what we do is we host meetings of countries that are interested in the platform so that we could also see how we are operating it and so on. Our ID system using the MOSIP platform is really the ID that the majority of the Togolese will have because, first of all, it's free. Who doesn't want it? It's free. Doesn't require to show proof of citizenship and so on. So that is the ID card of the poorest of the Togolese, she added. Lawson also spoke at the 50 in 5 launch event in November of 2023, where she explained that Togo's DPI journey began with the arrival of COVID-19. Just as many of us said, COVID was going to lead to this type of digital ID worldwide surveillance system. First, the government set up a digital payment system within 10 days. She says we deployed it and we were able to pay out 25% of all Togolese adults, and we distributed $34 million that the most vulnerable Togolese received directly through their mobile phones, said Lawson. Then came vaccine passports. We created a digital COVID certificate. All of a sudden, the fight against the pandemic became really about using digital tools to be more effective, she added at the time. To get an idea of where DPI is heading, Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov gave a pre-recorded speech for the 15.5 milestone event, saying that his country was successful in building the state in a smartphone via the Dia app, which had reached 23 million users. For every citizen, government should be simple, convenient, nearly invisible, and accessible in just a few clicks. Yeah, invisible in the sense that they know everything that we're doing and we know nothing that they're doing. He said today 23 million people use the Dia app. Since the launch of Dia in 2020, Ukrainians and the state have saved about $4.5 billion to date. This is the combined anti-corruption and economic effect of digitalizing services. For us, it's powerful proof of Dia's efficiency and the real impact of building a digital state, he added. And just taking you back to this particular person, Fedorov, speaking at the World Economic Forum in 2021, he told the panelists of the scaling up digital identity systems.
Yeah. Who is that just put in the chat? It's coming whether we like it or not. Yeah, Super Dave, the digital ID is bad. It's all good. I mean, I appreciate your comments and everything. Soldier for Jesus Christ, this is coming whether we want it or not. Yes, but as a collective, as a whole, I've already said, and it takes not much common sense to know, if 80% of the people rejected this, it would fail. If they had more than 35% sign up, say within 6 months or a year, they're going to keep pushing it. The biggest number they get, if they get half of the people immediately signing up, it's going to succeed and it's going to take over. But if 80 or 90% of the people rejected this right off the bat, it would never succeed. It takes people to cooperate in it. And the bad news is, what I'm trying to say, it would be bad news if they had the majority of the people in this digital ID. You could be part of a political group or whatever. 10, 20, 30% of the people can change a law. It's been done before. Just like with this digital ID, enough people can change it. I don't know exactly what numbers it would take, but if the majority gets in it, it's going to succeed. If the majority stays out of it, it's going to fail.
Session that it was Ukraine's goal to, quote, enable all life situations with this digital ID. The pandemic has accelerated our progress. People have no choice but to trust technology. We have to make a product that is so convenient that a person will be able to disrupt their stereotypes, to break through from their fears and start using a government-made application, he added. So yes, as many of us warned, COVID was the catalyst for a mass worldwide surveillance program. Some countries successfully got to the point of getting you to register your vaccine passport with your digital records, just like the Togolese were forced to do so. And of course, they always roll this out to poorer nations or more vulnerable nations first, because these people end up with really having no choice. They're living in poverty. They just have to do what the government says. And this is why systematically we've seen a destruction of economies, a destruction of personal wealth and autonomy since the time of COVID across every single country. Because the reality is, if you are not able to survive without the help of the government, you're more likely to comply with the state. Fast forward to 2025, and we've been talking a lot about digital ID and social media age verification and age authentication and all these various terms that they used.
Isn't it pretty obviously that they've installed smart meters for all this? They can remotely turn each household off electricity, smart meters for the water and electricity. It would probably, most likely, seemingly go into this digital ID. Full control, full control. You sit there and starve to death. No medical help. If you don't comply.
To lead everyone to the same point, we're now at the point, and we've told you about this before, in just a couple of months, Australians will not even be able to use Google without verifying who they are. And so Australia's decided to launch a campaign called For the Good Of, which is telling everyone that this is really about protecting children on social media and has nothing to do with setting up a social credit system for everyone online. Take a look at this astounding piece of propaganda from Australia, which reportedly is costing taxpayers $14 million.
For the good of Kirsty. For the good of Lucy and Anya. For the good of Sam. For the good of Holly. For the good of Noah. For the good of their well-being. From December 10, people under the age of 16 will no longer have access to social media accounts. It's part of a new law to help keep under 16 safer online. For more details and to help you prepare, go to esafety.gov.au.
Do you hear that, everyone? It's for the good of Noah and Kirsty and Anna and all these kids that we're making adults have to verify themselves online in order to use the internet. And never mind that we told you that digital ID would be voluntary. It's actually not really voluntary, as the people who were opposing it at the time really said to everyone. This is exactly what the conspiracy theorists said it would be. And we see that example out of the UK, where they've just come out.
Exactly what the conspiracy theorists said it would be. This is something that we all should unite together, each and every one of us. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. Foremost, you should have to be able to make a choice if you want to be part of this. Say Democrats that, Karens, whatever they are, these sheeple people. Oh, it's nothing, it's just something you should comply with. Let them go ahead and do it. Whoever they are. I don't care what side you're on. Let them do it. Let's run the test, 10, 20 years, and then let's see what happens. I'm not even looking. I'm sorry, y'all. Stock up lentils and dried veggies. Just thinking about this, it tears me up. And I think it should tear everybody up that starts to figure this out. It should make you mad as hell, that this new world order wants to control every aspect of our lives.
And said you're going to need one to work. This is unbelievable. It's extreme government overreach. And it's very clear, even from the African nations that are saying, yeah, we need to maintain sovereignty, but we need, worldwide interoperability. Traveling to Europe, you need a digital ID now. And they will call it a number of different things, but this is what it is in the end. And we just ask you to think about the many times that we've showed the diagram on the World Economic Forum's website that says that civic participation, economic participation, absolutely every single aspect of your life will depend on you having a digital ID. And just going back to the previous segment where we spoke about how residents are defeating these data centers, the immense amount of tax concessions and benefits that governments are giving to these companies while they drain the resources of these communities is all for this reason. It's for complete worldwide control. And therefore, the fight of local communities to push back against this agenda is absolutely vital in this time. So we ask everyone to consider that, be aware of what's happening in your local community, and make sure that this doesn't succeed. That all of these data centers and this underlying agenda doesn't succeed in your country. Keep an eye out on what's happening in your local community. Get involved. It's very, very important. One last thing I will mention is that while the United States has not formally signed up to the 50 in 5 initiative, it is in fact supporting it. And so people must be very aware of this. If one country can take down this agenda, it will be a perfect example to every other country. So we really do hope that we see continued resistance to this AI dystopia that they're building, and hope that this report has served as a valuable education piece so that people can see what's really behind this entire agenda. Are you protected in a world where threats of EMPs, solar flares?
Yeah. She sees it. It's coming whether if we like it or not. I get it, y'all. Let me read a little bit of your comments. Just thinking about this gives me a headache, y'all. I got no reason to run. I know that. We got to stand up, y'all.
Ain't afraid of the mile.
Yeah.
Ain't afraid of the call. City lights flicker, but they don't burn.
Appreciate y'all coming in. Thank y'all. Government don't care about you or me.
Man learns fast when the wolves draw near. You bite down harder or you disappear. I'm a diehard.
Yeah, the curtain, the puppet master. I've been trying to figure out who is the puppet master. Denise Boyd Martinez, thank you for becoming a member to the channel. I've been live an hour and 2 minutes. Thank y'all for coming in. Just wake up. Wake up and share, you know. Share the message, y'all. Total control. You're not used to that, you know? We're not animals, y'all.
I'm a diehard country boy. Carved out of stone. Gotta fire my chest and a soul of my own. I don't bend, I don't beg, I don't bow, I stand tall.
Y'all be good. Hit that thumbs up, y'all.
Rust in my veins and smoke in my lungs. Songs on my tongue that ain't never been sung. You can write me outlaw, you can call me insane, but I won't die quiet, I'll go out like a train.
Ooh, yeah. Appreciate it, y'all. Hit that thumbs up.
It won't buy my ground.
We'll see y'all later.
Been paid for in blood I found, and if the world burns down, I'll still stand tall with my back to the fire and my boots in the brawl. I'm a diehard country boy.
Hey, yeah.
Put a cross on my grave.
Y'all have a good night.
You can bury my body, but you can't kill the noise. The earth still shakes with a diehard
Country boy. Appreciate it, y'all.
Diehard country boy. cut from the high. Ain't no chains in this world gonna break my stride.
That's right.
Lay me down in the dirt, but I'll still stand tall.
Down home,
I was
country
born
boy.
to fight, and I'll die with it all. Write it on the stone, write it in the sky. A die-hard country boy, don't ever say die.
Have a good night.